Hello, Morley, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. Well, my guest, he is definitely not a stranger to Speaking of Everything. He's a well-known author from St. Martin, now living in Guadeloupe, Mr. Robert Romney. How are you doing, sir?
Fine today, yes. From St. Martin, and also having the privilege of being born in Phillipsburg,
Right.
at St. Rose's Hospital.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I feel honored, and when I'm in St. Martin, that's where I can say that I have a foot in each part of the island. Yeah.
That's great.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, that's great. The first time I had you on the show was almost 10 years ago.
Oh, yes.
And that book was what was Talk?
St. Martin Talk.
That was
yes.
interesting.
Yes. And so I thank you, Mr. Earl Gibbs. This is very important because you are the first one, in fact, to give me the opportunity of delving into my literature, into my books, and to speak about my books. Some of them would just say, yeah, he wrote that book, but they don't go very far, or don't go far, you see. And yes, I started with St. Martin Talk. I tried to have a trilogy, so which means, or a triptych, better. First, St. Martin Talk, that was to pile up the words, the sentences of St. Martin. Most, I don't say that I have completed all the words and sayings in St. Martin. No, far from it. But I tried to, and after that, it was to prepare because I had something in mind with an aim. It is not, there's a link between St. Martin Talk and what I did later. After St. Martin Talk, there was a book from St. Martin Talk to Standard English. We did that.
Right.
Which means to show that this is what we say in St. Martin and what should be said. Because, as you all know, our English is considered like in other Caribbean countries. We can speak about our Creole English, not broken English, as I have heard. This term does not exist among the linguists.
Right.
Broken English, it's like a nonsense. It doesn't exist. And it's Creole English. And this term was coined in Jamaica at Mona University. All the linguists, about 10 years ago, Mona University, they recognized that the idiom which is spoken in the different countries, like in Barbados, the Bajan, or in Trinidad and Tobago. So it's a recognition of how we speak and how we write. And this, what is new, is not to stop, not to prevent someone who's going to court, someone who's going to having an affair, having problems with the administration. It's just, in fact, to allow this person, in fact, to express in his vernacular speech. So from St. Martin Talk to Standard English. Then there was the first novel, you see, I prepared the context. And the first novel, Big Rock, which was written, yes, about 4 years ago, was written. And it took some time. By the time the book is written, when it comes out, and and you go around explaining. So this is Big Rock 1, first volume. Big Rock 1. The subtitle was yes, King of the Rock. King of the Rock. Then now, volume 2, Big Rock 2, with a subtitle.
Can you hold it up so we can see it?
Yes, the subtitle. Subtitle is Lie Down in Darkness. Lie Down in Darkness.
Yeah.
which is in fact a reference to a novel, well-known novel, Lie Down in Darkness. It is, I just borrowed this term, in fact. Lie Down in Darkness is a novel which was written by an American writer, William Styron, yes. And in the first novel, Big Rock, King of the Rock, it's about a slice of life of the youngsters in St. Martin in the 60s, in the late 60s, 67, 68.
That's during the time when you were growing up in St. Martin?
Yes, that's where I, as a teenager, and it's to show, to portray, to depict different aspects of St. Martin, different things were going on in St. Martin as regards commerce. I mean, the salesmen and women, the fishermen in Marigot, the fishermen, also the cattle owners. That was very important. I can speak a bit longer, but the cattle owners, the farmers, and also the youngsters. It is seen through the eyes of the youngsters of that time, and in the background of this novel, there is the beginning of, I won't say love story, but like calf love between a young St. Martiner and who is a student in Bordeaux in France, studying law, and a girl, a nice, beautiful girl from Curacao, who is from, her parents are from St. Martin.
But she's from Curacao.
But she's from Curacao, born in Curacao.
That's interesting.
And came, and she had always visited St. Martin every vacation. She was almost, I would say, 90%, 99% St. Martin. But why Curacao? This was an opportunity for me to introduce a broader scope in the literature, and also to introduce Papiamento. She spoke Papiamento also. She spoke French, English.
That's unusual.
And Papiamento. And this is important, and you would see the importance of that in the second novel. How she, with those languages, how she moved about in the society in Europe. The different themes. I would speak of it. One theme, if you don't mind, today. Something that lots of youngsters and even middle-aged people now, they don't know, or they ignore that St. Martin used to ship cattle, herds of cattle, to Guadeloupe and Martinique. That's during the Second World War, because there was it was not possible for Guadeloupe and Martinique to trade openly with France because of the Nazis, because of the Germans, because of the submarines, and the whole West Indies, the sea, the West Indian, the sea was all around were lots of submarines, Nazi submarines, and even in St. Martin, they came to St. Martin too, and I just opened this to just let know that it is known that some St. Martiners, were on good terms with some Germans, because the Germans came in at night, and they wanted also food, mostly mutton were prepared. I told you I'm speaking about what I've heard, speaking about what my father has told me, what the people were speaking about. And when I was younger, I heard some older St. Martiners saying, you heard the boots last night, you heard the people walking, Yes, a glimpse. I didn't go out, but I saw there were Germans walking in Marigot. See? So just want to know that the importance of a country. And the herds of cattle which were sent to Guadeloupe, there was a way to ship the cattle to Guadeloupe, where the cow, where the bulls, the animals were tied. Lots of people will remember that. The cattle was tied with their horns to some boats, and they used to go, just were attached to go on the schooners leaving for Guadeloupe. And yes, and the meat went also to Guadeloupe and Martinique, and also with the skins. A lot of people, the butchers on the island, were they kept those skins, those animal skins, and to dry all over the place. There were those skins to dry, and to send also to different islands where they use those skins, in fact, for shoes, to make shoes, bags,
right,
and so on. So St. Martin, at that time, there were the herds, I said, of cattle. There was salt, of course, and that salt was also sold everywhere, like in Anguilla was sold in other Western countries. This salt was to preserve the meat. We had no fridge. You had to preserve the meat, the fish.
Refrigerators came in the 60s.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fish was the term which was used to cure fish, like to smoke fish and so on. So this is to show what St. Martin was like. But at the same time, because of those herds of cattle, the people in St. Martin, lots of people, in lots of families, the people would make butter, their butter. Personally, with my grandmother, even my father also, when we had to help. We had a lot of. My father that was his, straight from one of his aspects of his job was to raise cattle. But something which was a disadvantage, the drawback for the St. Martin cattle raisers, was the weather.
Really? Why is that?
The dry season.
Oh, okay.
When it was a dry season, you would see people coming. We call them the chachas. Will come in. You would see them dressed in khaki with the colonial helmet mostly, and they would go around buying your cows at a very cheap, because you had no water, so they would starve, and you didn't want to lose your cattle, so you sell them at a very cheap price.
What did they do with it after they bought it? They took it from St. Martin, or they?
And from St. Martin on the boats, those who would ship the boat, and the boats mostly belonged to them also, and they went to Guadeloupe and Martinique to sell at another price, to the butchers.
As a profit there.
Yeah, that's it. I just because this also that aspect developed a kind of mentality where we were a bit prejudiced against those people coming like that, coming when you are down, and to bleed the country. In fact,
you use the word chacha. Is that a reference to Caucasians?
Yes, but chacha I do it just not to say where they come from, but everybody will understand.
Yeah, where people will know. That's why
where they come from. The chachas, they were the one with pot-bellied most of the time, sweating, because they walked a lot in the countries to know where there were animals starving.
So these were not St. Martiners in any way?
No. You see, this is a theme. It is in my book. The shipment, the description. I would even advise some teachers who would like to know more about St. Martin. I give them elements.
That's in
Because
Big Rock 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
Big Rock 1, Big Rock 2, I would say. I give them elements to develop with the pupils. Because the work I'm doing, it's not for me. I'm not in quest of fame or in search of being known and so on. I want to do something for St. Martin. I want to leave traces.
That I can all refer back to also.
Yes. So a teacher can read passages to see the description, because I have put a lot of energy, a lot of my heart in what I'm doing.
By profession, you're also an educator, right? Too.
I am.
And
I
former
am.
manager of school.
I am. First, I was a teacher. I was an English teacher. Then I moved from an English teacher to an inspector, where I inspected teachers from Guadeloupe and Martinique. 840 for 13 years.
Wow.
Guadeloupe and Martinique. I would take the plane at least twice or three times to go to Martinique, to shuttle from Guadeloupe and Martinique for 13 years. 840. 440 teachers in Guadeloupe, 400 in Martinique. You see, secondary school teachers, yes, and
That's amazing for St. Martin in those days. Huh?
it is.
Yeah.
But you see what I wanted to do, and then after being an inspector, I was appointed as the head of the Board of Education in St. Martin and also in St. Bart's. That was the first representative of the head of education in Guadeloupe and France. I was we call the vice-recteur, ses représentants. But I was by myself, all by myself. Now they have set up a whole organization.
There are a lot of people.
Yes, around.
Yeah.
And there was a word but that would be another program, Mr. Or I don't want to go further, but I think that St. Martin's at the time were not aware of what was going on, and to use a Shakespearean term, I would say that time was not ripe at the time for them to understand what was going on. Okay, because I had to look after the schools at the same time, after the culture. That was one of my mission. In a word, they gave me they even were creating the post. They didn't know what was going on. So I came here at a bad period. I came here when Guadeloupe was in a total riot. Okay, yeah. That was in 2000. I was out. They said 2019. Yes. Yes, there was a riot in Guadeloupe, and it started in St. Martin. They feared that it would go too far, and some of our leaders, speaking for the French side, but they know what they did. Yeah. I leave them, in fact, to their conscience, and they don't know what was done.
Let me just let my viewers and listeners know that this is Speaking About Everything on YouTube, Facebook, and on Radio Hot 99.9 FM radio. My guest is St. Martin-born author, Mr. Robert Romney, and he now lives in Guadeloupe. It's amazing, Mr. Romney, that a man of your stature, you are considered one of the few remarkable St. Martiners. You also have your children that are well educated. They're doctors, medical doctors.
Yes, well, to say the truth, what is, I would say, my point of success is to have your children, and who always remain your children.
Right.
I call them, I use the same terms of the little terms, the little words when they were like babies. I happened to walk in once in the office, and I said, and my son said, "Papa, they will hear what you're saying." Yes, I would like to raise, that's my contribution to the society, to say, what can I do? And I feel I would use one of Marie's Condé's term, when she came back to Guadeloupe, said that she was not used to, they did not use her. She had a lot to give, and they did not use her enough. She was underexploited. I would like, in fact, St. Martin's, to raise the level, to them to go. Yes, my eldest son, he's a gastroenterologist. Yes, and my second son, of course, is a veterinarian. So, yes, but this is just because I gave them also the best opportunities to succeed, and I did something. I said I was an inspector, but I became an inspector when they were almost ending their studies, in fact. And also, as you know the price of the fees to pay.
It's expensive.
If you want to succeed, this is to tell the parents, you have to deprive yourselves of certain things.
Oh, yeah.
And for years, my wife and I give praise to my wife, who was very helpful also. And we have kids, in fact, who have succeeded, of course, but that also was a lot of investment, personal investment, moral investment.
Yeah.
Okay? You had to, there was no change in cars every year, every 2 years, and so on, because because my second son, he started in the veterinary school in France, and then he went to the United States, so you have to pay for not only for studies, you pay for food, you must pay for car, you must pay for a lot of things, Okay, so yes, I think I could have, stay and be VIP with lots of villas or apartments, renting and so on, because it seems to me now that's what they say. Lots of Samaritans they're not creative, but they live off of rent. They're renting places, they're renting apartments, they're renting, that's it, But they must think of the children too.
Yeah.
Okay? And also, it's when you speak a lot about violence towards women also, but you must speak also, it's your family first.
Right.
That's what you want.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because too often a lot of people don't realize the sacrifices you make as a parent.
That's the word.
For your children. They think, well, they're intelligent, that's true, but the parents make enormous sacrifices, financial, time, everything.
Yes, because final success is about 99% of perspiration, 1% of inspiration.
I like how you put it.
You see?
Yeah.
Which means, no, this is not from me, I'm sorry. That's an author. I'm not too sure, but I think it's Oscar Wilde. And this is something also, so you give me this opportunity. I love literature. I'm a specialist of English, Irish literature, the writers, and American writers. So my books, especially Big Rock 1, is stuffed with quotations whenever it was possible. It's not like a list, but when it is possible. But this was just with a name, with a purpose,
right,
with a view to telling the youngsters, go and look up. If I speak about James Joyce, let them go and look up to see because now with the phone they can see
find everything. Right?
So this is it, you know. But to come back, you know, I just want to do something. I want to do something. Some people do a lot. They go into politics. They do a lot. I respect that, you see. But I think it is possible to combine both aspects, you know. And this just want to tell also some of the leaders, please think of also of education.
It's very important. Huh?
Think of education. Education is with a view to promoting. You say, we want to be St. Martiners, but what? Or who is a St. Martiner? How to become a St. Martiner? How to become a real responsible person in St. Martin? Okay, so we have to take control, of course. But to take control, you have to be competent.
Yeah.
You have to be competent. It is not, you won't say, oh, this is mine because I was born here. I'm BH, I was born here. No, you can born here, you were born here, but you don't have the ability to be in such a position. This is in the book.
I wanted to hold that thought. I can come back to the book because both Mr. Romney and myself hold a PhD in BH, right? Born here. Never put it like that, but I'm using it for the first time. I hope you don't mind. We both have that degree, right?
Yes.
Born here, BH.
Yes, that's new. That's new for me. But.
Right, but at the same time, we don't only say it, we live it. That's the difference, because what you mentioned before earlier about education and the family involvement, everything else, I think I've never heard anyone said it as good as you did a while ago. But I'll tell you what, if we have to go to a break, Mr. Romney, when we come back, we're going to continue. All right, let's do this right here on Speaking of Everything.
Thanks.
My guest on Speaking of Everything is St. Martin author, Mr. Robert Romney. We both hold a degree in BH, born here. So we are St. Martiners, and I love that. And he's a St. Martiner that I admire a lot. You know, speaking with you, Mr. Romney, privately, you know, you get to see your concerns and your passion for St. Martin, and for me, that's very, very important. I've had you now on the show 3 or 4 times. You're back now with your latest continuation of your novels, Big Rock 2. And that's quite an interesting...
Yes. So in Big Rock, the first volume, we witness, as I said, the scene. The scene is set in the 60s with the different things. In England, it was... the swinging London in the 60s, swinging London. I happened to go to England after completed my high school in Guadeloupe. I was a French assistant in a British school in southwest London. So I was not far from the street, the very famous street, you know, Carnation Street. I even forget, you know.
That was what, the back of the 70s?
60, 68, 69, 70. Oh, okay. Oh, it was great. And that was the Beatles were still strong, going on, and so on. And it was the hippies period. Mm. I was in London in August when Jimi Hendrix passed away.
Wow. He was the greatest guitarist, man.
Yes. It was in August. I was in England. I was in England when there was the the famous concert, which was in the south of on the island.
In England, yeah.
In England, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It come back.
I only know about Woodstock, and that was in
The Woodstock. It is.
Yeah.
No. Woodstock is
in the US,
in the
yeah,
US
yeah.
now. No, it before Woodstock.
But I don't know what I won in
Yes.
in
Yes.
the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the island. Yep. So all that's reflected in St. Martin. There were hippie movement. Before the hippies, there were the beatniks. There were hippie movement, and in St. Martin also, we had that was the first appearance of TV sets. Like I speaking about that, the first TV sets that came to St. Martin, where we would gather in front of an open door, the door which was ajar, just to peep at the TV.
I remember that even as a boy growing up in the 70s, I had that same experience.
Yeah. Well, the screen, as you know,
Yeah,
the screen,
black and white.
with a lot of
noise.
snow.
They call it noise.
Snowy noise.
The technical term for that is noise.
No,
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes, and but we were fans of the Motown.
Oh, yeah.
All
Motown.
all the singers. So in the book, first book, Big Rock, for someone who would like to know what was going on at that time, I would recommend Big Rock one, because it's a book, Big Rock, the first volume. As I said in a meeting in Guadeloupe once, you can put the book in and listen to the music. Listen to what was going on in St. Martin, Calypso. You could listen to 6 or 7. Okay, that was Calypso, sung by sung by also this Bajan band that
The Merry Men.
the Merry Men.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Romney, you have to listen to 99.9 FM radio. It's on the background where you speak, or we chroma keying you on the background. You can see 99.9 FM radio. It's our new radio station, and we play all the different music, including the Merry Men, calypso, reggae, and also music from the 60s, 70s, 80s. So you're saying that, and it reminds me of a very special time, and how today now people are going back to that type of music.
Yeah. So listen to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
6 or 7 is the season. That's how it is, and it is. We dance in the book. I speak about 6 or 7. How
60s had the best music.
Yes.
Basically. Yeah.
So in the background of the novel, you witness this young couple. I said, boy from St. Martin, who is
Is he a poor guy?
eyeing. He was an only child, only child. His father his mother was at home, and his father was a teacher, primary teacher. But he was successful, and he was studying law in Bordeaux. I will tell you why Bordeaux again, because you will see it in a second.
The wine country.
The wine country. And so it's this, you can see the development of this calf love, this innocence. But why? It's because I just want to insist, to stress on what was going on, and this is true. It's true to life, that the people, the youngsters in the book, Kathy, her name, Kathy, and Willie, they were the main heroes, protagonists of the story. They were innocent. Okay? They were innocent. And they developed some kind of, it's a wind of, it's romantic. This is perhaps the little touch of nostalgia.
Or was it accepted by the community?
very good. Of course, everybody was watching, but the term is used in the book, which is very popular. The four-letter words. Please don't get me wrong, but the 4 letters start with a M.
The M?
Yeah. You know, we speak of a Mako.
Oh.
Like the Trinidadians speak of a Mako building.
Yeah.
You know, the word has become. It is in the book, St. Martin's, as I said, St. Martin's slang, St. Martin talk. Yes. And everybody, you know, would watch to see how Willie. So Willie was what we call here a Chabin, a fair black person.
Chabin.
Chabin.
Yeah.
And she was just a beautiful girl from Curacao, mix, but from St. Martin.
So is a Chabin similar to a Becky?
No, it will be the lighter shade of black.
Oh.
Okay, clear. And will be like Glenn a bit, like Glenn, my son, near Chabin. And she was. But I'm glad of the description. This is how I feel, because it is not a real story. It's not a true story. This is where the omniscient narrator intervenes. By the way, what is very important, I never use I, personal pronoun I, in the book. It's never. You won't find I or we. It's destroying the omniscient narrator. Speaking of the people and so on, you know. I am not in the book. This is very important because
So you're saying it's fiction, right?
No, there is reality
okay.
and fiction.
Okay, so you combine.
But the fiction, but perhaps the couple.
Oh, okay.
There were lots and lots of couples at that time.
Yeah.
The young people trying, you know. Yeah. But you know, as you know, it was so difficult. It is not like now. You ask a girl, "Can you come out? Can I meet you?" This no, it was impossible.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm speaking of the progressive, how to approach a girl. It was progressively. It was romantic. And you have to be a serious person. That's how it was. When you happen even to brush the girl's fingers, that was you were in another world.
So young people got to read that book today, man, to get the whole thing of what it's all about.
I'm not a preacher. I'm not a preacher, but it is about virtue. It is about virtue. That was it in the time. I'm not inventing. That was it. So Big Rock, what I haven't said, what was Big Rock?
Yeah.
Big Rock was the pedestal. Big Rock was I would say that was the place which congregates, which assembled, which gathered all the youngsters from the whole area of Marigot, St. James, coming on. You know, it was a very mixed society. You know, people coming from all walks of life and peoples, and it was our beach. That was our beach. There's no beach now in Marigot.
It's gone.
Yes, and that's in the second term now.
Right.
Lie down in darkness.
Right.
Big Rock was smothered. Big Rock was stifled under tons and tons of concrete and steel. Now, with the avenue in Marigot coming, that was Big Rock was when you go to the Methodist church, there's this alley, and Big Rock was about 250 meters from the seaside, the beginning of the beach.
Yeah.
go about 250, 300 meters.
Can't see it now. Go on.
There's no sea there.
Go on.
Now it's but where you reach Big Rock at that time, that was an initiation. So Big Rock, first Big Rock Volume 1, King of the Rock, was a novel of initiation. It was about innocence.
Right.
It was about we as youngsters who were like in the Middle Ages, we were like fighting in a world of chivalry. You see, Big Rock. And also, Big Rock 2 is what has become of Willie and Kathy.
What happened then? Did they go on to get married?
No.
You don't have to tell us. Just pull your leg.
When they read the book, they will know. They will know. But I can tell you that they live in Holland.
Oh, they went to live in Holland.
They went to Holland because, as I said, she was a bright student too. She Willie completed. Willie has become a lawyer.
Wow.
An attorney.
And they have children too?
So yeah, they have to read the book.
I just put your leg.
Yes. No, this is good. This is good. This is good.
You're making people get excited to read the book.
Well, I think this is suspense, yeah, because if I said that was what I said yesterday. I was signing some books. They're asking me some who read the first. What have become? I say, when you read it, when you buy the book.
You did the book sign at the library.
Otherwise, they would say, "Oh, I know, man. I know what happened. Man, the people that got married, they have children. It's the same story, same old story. What Romney is saying, man. This is."
You gotta read the book, and then this is different.
Yeah, the style. As I said, I never write in first person.
Yeah.
First one. And please, Willie is not me. I want to tell you.
You live in Guadeloupe.
Yes, because a lot of people in Guadeloupe, yes, they even said to my wife, I think Willie is he. I think he is Willie, I think it's he.
And your wife is originally from where?
It's Guadeloupe.
Guadeloupe.
Yeah.
So definitely she is not other characters. That's from Curacao.
She is interested in knowing who is Kathy. Who was Kathy? And they say, "Oh, you say you don't know Kathy? Are you sure?" No, I don't know Kathy. It's a figment of mine. You see, I just want to do something. I want to do something clean about St. Martin. Too many people I have met coming to St. Martin from Guadeloupe, they would say, "Hey, man, Romney, what do we have in St. Martin apart from the casinos? What is your culture? What is your culture about?" So I want to show that, yes, I have culture. I want to show also there's literature, and you can write without going back into slavery times. You see what I mean? This is very easy to go in all the books, history books, to say this and that. And you invent a lot also. There are elements of slavery, because you would see Kathy is so beautiful because she's fair-skinned that lots of boys fear to approach her. They say, "Oh no, she would turn me around. No, I'm too black." They're speaking about it. They don't like those type of girls. The color. They don't like black people. It isn't it. That's my reference to which was true at that time, which was true. Even there's a union between a girl from here, from Simpson Bay, and a black person from the Marigot, that created a scandal and so on. And she is a strong character, that lady, very strong character. You find about her, how she is fighting. Her husband went to work in Curacao, all the men coming around, and she has 2 boys, 2 sons, and she wants to be honest. She wants to raise her children and not to take, as you say at that time, a sweet man.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised is when I start to talk about. I'm surprised to see how many approaches, how many themes are developed, and how St. Martin, for me, this is St. Martin literature.
And I think what's important is that a lot of us don't realize truly what St. Martin was and is and still is. And we have changed a lot and still haven't changed a lot. And that's a unique part of the true St. Martin culture and the way we live and the way we interact with each other. So I think everyone should read not just Big Rock and Big Rock 2, but I have to go back to St. Martin Talk, and I have to go back to the other one. I can't get the name of it.
From St. Martin Talk to Standard English.
Standard English.
Yes.
To get to see what you have done as an author, as a St. Martiner, as a person that holds a BH degree like myself. You know, we both are born here. And I think it's so important because when we look around today, many of our young people don't see many people with a BH degree that are doing real well.
Yes, and it's my pride when I hear that St. Martiners have succeeded, because, just to give an example, in the book, mostly in the first book, every St. Martiner, because at that time we had to leave St. Martin, we had to go Guadeloupe. There were no schools, no secondary schools on the island. We had to leave to go to Guadeloupe. So to live in another life, to discover another life, we have to rough it. We had to rough it. It wasn't easy. And at the time, we would go to Guadeloupe by boat. You know, those schooners with animals, with all the vendors, and up to now, I have the smell of the different vegetables on board, like the celery. It's not, for me, it's not only in soup, but I still have it.
Yeah, I can still smell it.
I would be a bit tough to say celery mixed with vomit, people vomiting because of the sea and so on, you know. So things are better now, lots of supermarkets, yes. The more supermarkets, the fatter you are, they're fat, okay? And this is one of my elder son's job, is to treat obesity. Being a gastroenterologist, he treats a lot of obesity. Is to put balloons, to inflate balloons in lots of people's stomach because people are too big and they run risk. Exactly. St. Martiners are running risk because being obese it's a way to the next step is heart attack.
Yeah. And your son works in Guadeloupe?
He has his surgery in Guadeloupe, an office in Guadeloupe, but also in France, Aix-en-Provence. So he comes to Guadeloupe every 3 months to take care of his patient. Of course, on TV now you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and he
ever went to Anguilla at some time?
He goes to Anguilla. Yes, he goes to Anguilla. Dr. Hughes' clinic. He intervenes there. That's good. You have a good memory.
Remember, Romney, I know you have to go to another engagement at the university. So I'm just going to ask you to briefly review again for my audience where they can get the book, Big Book, or maybe Big Rock 2, that they can buy all your books.
Yes, this is good. Can you imagine? I'm saying it aloud because I haven't made any kind of scandal. A bookshop owner in Margot asked me, "Mr. Romney, why do you write in English?" I said, "Come on." I said, "This is because the people, that's what we speak and so on. And my characters, they speak St. Martin. Because when you write in English, it's like an offense to the white population and French population of Saint Martin, who speak only French. And from now on, I won't take your books because they are in English. I said, and if a Japanese write in Japanese, and if okay, I said, I'm sorry, I won't go into that, but because this is very dangerous, sir. You know, this is what I was told. Wow. So the book can be found. You can find this book at Van Dorp. Yes, Van Dorp. Although at the beginning there were only 5 books.
Oh, well, with Amazon, you can get it on Amazon also? You will have it on Amazon?
No, I don't have it on Amazon. I just don't, because my purpose is locally first.
Yeah,
just like me. Yes, like me. Yes, they told me so for St. Martin Talk.
Same thing.
St. Martin Talk. Some people even in the States are asking for St. Martin Talk. They want to arrange it, but it costs a lot to make other copies and so on, to issue. And you can on the French side it is called La Librairie des Îles, which is behind which is in Concordia, Librairie des Îles. Okay, or get in touch with me, or get in touch with even when my son at the Animal
Hospital.
Yes, Animal Hospital in Colby. Yes, you can get in touch with him, and I will provide. But for the moment, he has at least
that's good. Yes. So I know you got to get to another function. So again, I want to thank you. Always great having you here on the program, and you invite me all the time to come to Guadeloupe. I gotta get there soon sometime.
Yes, do come. Yes, and also I want to thank you for having me on your program. Then you are contributing in spreading Saint Martin culture. This is good. This is what I appreciate. I think both of us, we have one view, is to do as much as possible for our island, because we love our island. And just a quotation. The quotation you will find in the. No, I didn't put it. I must tell you, I should have bought this. I wrote this the second, but I have a little book which will be out very soon.
Another book, yeah.
Yes, another about only drawings.
Yeah.
People who draw, youngsters who draw for me. Proverbs.
Okay, good.
From the Caribbean and from Saint Martin, in color. I have them. I have a sketch, but they did it for me. And I bought it here, and I forget sometime. Even yesterday, I forgot to show the people, but I will see. I will come back. The drawings, very nice proverbs, from Saint Martin. Right. Yep. All right.
So, Mr. Romney, I want to thank you again. Wish you much success. All right.
Thanks a lot. Okay, but please, I would encourage you, if you want to be Saint Martin, if you want to give a gift. Now it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
If you want to offer a gift, something Saint Martin, come on. What do we have? Not a gift coming from Japan, from China, made in China. Why don't you offer a book for once? Offer a book to a good friend of yours.
So they can read.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can help. An old friend of yours to know more about his country, and both of you can also have a new conversation, a new turn of conversation.
Right.
Okay, good.
That's author Mr. Robert Romney. So again, you can find his books at Van Dorp and other places where books are sold, right here in Saint Martin French. And that's see you next time on YouTube, Facebook, and on Hot 99.9 FM radio station. Take care. Bye.
Yes, thanks.